Fractions are interesting because you can kind of treat them the same way that we were treating equations in the previous video. In that if you have a fraction, it can be equivalent as long as you perform some operation to the top and bottom as far as multiplication and division goes. So for fractions, you can, let's say, times the top and the bottom by 2. Because essentially this here is just equal to 1, because 2 over 2 cancels out and you're left with 1. So you can really multiply your fraction by any version of 1 and you'll end up with a fraction that is the same. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So 4 over 8 is also equal to 8 over 16. Now, same thing goes for division. So you can do 4 divided by 2 all over 8 divided by 2. And so you'll be left with 2 over 4. That's similar. Then you can even take this one and divide top and bottom by 2. So you'll be left with 1 over 2. And all of these equal the same thing. A lot of times you'll be asked to simplify fractions. So if we had 18 24ths and you're asked to simplify that fraction, the thing that I like to do is again perform a prime factorization on both of those numbers. So 2, 9, 3, 3, and then 24, 2, 12, 2, 6, 2, 3. And then you just put those on the appropriate side of the fraction. So for 18, we're going to have 2 times 3 times 3 all over 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And then any of the pairs can just cancel out and they become 1s. So on the top you're left with 3, on the bottom you're left with 2 times 2, which is 4. So that's the simplified version of that fraction. Now another way you can do that is to just recognize that both of these can be divided by 2. So you divide top and bottom by 2, you're left with 9 over 12. And then you recognize, okay, both of those can be divided by 3. So you divide top and bottom by 3, and you end up with 3 over 4. Again, you get the same answer either way you do it. I like this way better, just because it's more straightforward, just cancel things out than just to stare at something and try to figure out a common factor that they can both be divided by. So that's really all you need to know as far as fractions go. Pretty straightforward.